Good morning, students. Today we shall read the chapter The Necklace from the book The Footprints Without Feet. And this is the chapter 7 written by Henry Rene Albert, who was born on 5th August 1850 and died on 6th July 1893. He was a French writer and he is remembered as a master of the short story form and as a representative of the naturalist school of writers who depicted human lives and destinies and social forces in disillusioned and often pessimistic terms. He wrote some 300 short stories, six novels, three travel books, and one of volume of verse. Okay, verse means poem lines or poems. Okay, now let's start the chapter, the necklace. And before I go ahead in the chapter, let me introduce to the chapter. The story necklace, the necklace revolves around a selfish lady named Matilda. She is unsatisfied with her life as she wants a rich husband, but because she belonged to a middle class family, or we can say that a family of clerks, and her family is not able to give dowry, so she is married to a clerk. One day, both husband and wife are invited to a party at the minister's house. Okay, but Matilda doesn't have good clothes, means party dresses and jewels to wear at such a party, grand party. So her husband suggests her to buy a dress and ask an old friend for jewelry. She then borrows a necklace from her husband and from her one of her old friends and goes to the party. What happens next proves to be a lesson for the unhappy lady like Matilda. Okay, now let's begin the chapter with reading. She was one of those pretty young ladies born as if through an error of destiny into a family of clerks. She had no dowry, no hopes, no means of becoming known, loved, and married by a man either rich or distinguished, and she allowed herself to marry a petty clerk in the office of the Board of Education. She was simple, but she was unhappy. She suffered incessantly. See, feeling her born for all delicacies and luxuries. She suffered from the poverty of her apartment, the shabby walls, and the worn chairs. All these things tortured and angered her. When she seated herself for dinner opposite her husband, who uncovered the tureen with a delighted air, saying, "Oh, the good pot pie! I know nothing better than that." She would think of elegant dinners of shining silver, the thoughts of the exquisite food served in marvelous dishes. She had neither frocks nor jewels, nothing, and she loved only those things. She had a rich friend, a schoolmate at the convent, who she did not like to visit. She suffered so much when she returned. She wept for whole days from despair and disappointment. One evening, her husband returned elated, bearing in his hand a large envelope. "Here," he said, "here is something for you." Now, see the meanings of difficult words on page number 39. See, pretty means attractive, error means mistake. The next word is destiny, means fate, Fate, fate. Distinguished means famous. Then petty, Petty, petty. Petty means very small. Then another word is incessantly, means continuously. Incessantly. Incessantly. Okay, means continuously. Delicacies means different kinds of food. Okay, cuisines. Then luxuries, great comforts. Then next word is apartment, means room. Shabby means dirty. Worn means overused, worn and torn like that. Okay, now I think there are some more meaning like tureen. Okay, tureen means a deep covered dish from which soup is served. Understand? And then elegant means graceful and stylish in appearance. And there is there are more words like exquisite means extremely beautiful and delicate. Marvelous means causing great wonder. Convent, a school attached to and run by a convent like yours. Okay, the next word is elated means make someone happy. Okay, extremely happy. Now the explanation of this passage. So we read that Matilda Loisel was a pretty young lady who was born into a middle class family who worked as clerks. Okay, she married she was married to a clerk. Her family did not have any means to arrange dowry for her marriage, so she did not have any other means by which she could befriend a rich man to be loved or married to him. So, due to these conditions, poor conditions, she had to marry a clerk in the office of the board of education, and because of this she was unhappy. Okay, she used to think that destiny means her fate was unfair to her and that she deserved much better than what she had got. She used to get angry and was tortured by the condition of her apartment, means her house. The dirty walls and the torn furniture used to irritate her. She used to think about elegant dinners being served in marvelous dishes, okay, in beautiful dishes, when her husband used to praise the homemade food cooked by her, okay, served in a simple dish. She did not have fancy jewels or good dresses. She lacked all these things, okay, all these luxuries in her life. She had a school friend whom she did not like to meet as she was a rich lady. Okay. After meeting her, she used to cry for days. When she met her friend, she used to cry for days together, looking at the condition of her life. One day, her husband came back home from his work in a very happy mood, holding an envelope in his hand. And he informed his wife, Matilda, that the envelope was for her and asked her to open it. Okay, now the next page. She quickly drew out a printed card on which were inscribed these words: the Minister of the Public Instruction and Madame George Rampanu asked the owner of M and Ma'am Loisel company Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. Okay, now next stanza. Instead of being delighted, as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation spitefully upon the table, murmuring, "What do you suppose I want with that? But, my dearie, I thought it would make you happy. You never go out, and this is an occasion, and a fine one. Everybody wishes one, and it is very select. Not many are given to employees. You will see the whole official world there." She looked at him with an irritated eye and declared impatiently, "What do you suppose I have to wear to such a thing as that?" He had not thought of that, he stammered. "Why, the dress you wear when we go to the theatre. It seems very pretty to me." He was silent, stupefied, in dismay at the sight of his wife weeping. He stammered, "What is the matter? What is the matter?" By a violent effort, she had controlled her vexation and responded in a calm voice, wiping her moist cheeks, "Nothing, only I have no dress, and consequently I cannot go to this affair. Give your card to some colleague whose wife is better fitted out than I." He was grieved, but answered, "Let us see, Matilda. How much would a suitable costume cost? Something that would serve for other occasion." Okay. And then something very simple, she reflected for some seconds, thinking of a sum that she could ask for without bringing with it an immediate refusal and a frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. Finally, she said in a hesitating voice, I cannot tell exactly, but it seems to me that 400 francs ought to cover it. Now, let's see the meanings of difficult words. See the word written there, M. Okay, here it means Mr. It French. Okay, then ma'am, Mrs. in French. Another word is delighted. It means feeling or showing great pleasure. Spitefully means showing or caused by malice. Hatred. Understand? Murmuring means a low or indistinct continuous sound. Then stammered means speak with sudden, involuntarily pause, and a tendency to repeat the initial letters of words. Next word is stupefied means make unable to make unable to think or feel properly. Next word is dismay means concern and distress caused by something unexpected. Okay. Next word is vexation. It means the state of being annoyed. Okay. Or angry, frustrated, or worried. Then affair means an event or sequence of events of specified kind. Okay. Or like a party. Like party. Next, colleague, a person with whom one works in a profession or business or in office. Then grieved means feel intense sorrow. Okay, francs. This is the basic monetary unit of France country. Okay, other countries also like Switzerland and Luxembourg, Belgium. Understand? And tortured means caused suffering. Now come to the meaning of the paragraph. Then she quickly pulled out the printed card as she was excited to know what it was about. It was an invitation from the minister. Okay. The couple had been invited to a dinner party at the house of the Minister of Public Instruction. She was supposed to be delighted as Mr. Loisel expected, but she got really angry and threw the envelope or card within it while murmuring something. Okay. She asked her husband that what did he want her to do with the card. Husband replied that he thought that she would be happy as she never went out, and this was a great occasion or opportunity to which not many employees were invited. He also told her that she would be meeting a lot of people from his office there on that day. Matilda asked him that what could she wear to such a grand party. Then husband stammered as he had not thought of that. He first asked her to wear the dress that she wore when they went out for movies in a theater, but then as she was weeping, he husband asked her about the matter. She wiped her tears from her wet cheeks and replied calmly, quietly, that she could not be a part of such a grand affair and that he should give away the card to some other colleague whose wife uh, was better than her. Okay. So husband felt very bad for his wife, and he saw her crying, weeping, and asked her the cost of a simple dress that could be worn by her on other occasions as well. She thought of an amount that would neither be refused by him nor scare the poor clerk. Then she said that she would be able to manage a dress in 400 francs. Understand? Now, the next paragraph. He turned a little pale, for he had saved just the sum to buy a gun that he might be able to join some hunting parties the next summer with some friends who went to shoot larks on Sunday. Nevertheless, he answered, very well, I will give you 400 francs, but try to have a pretty dress. The day of the ball approached, and Ma'am Loisel seemed sad, disturbed, anxious. Nevertheless, her dress was nearly The day of the ball approached, and Ma'am Loisel seemed sad, disturbed, anxious. Nevertheless, her dress was nearly ready. Her husband said to her one evening, What is the matter with you? You have acted strangely for 2 or 3 days. And she responded, I am vexed not to have a jewels, nothing to adorn myself with. I shall have such a poverty stricken look. I would prefer not to go to this party. He replied, You can wear some natural flowers. In the season, they look very chic. She was not convinced. No, she replied, there is nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby air in the midst of rich women. Then her husband cried out, How stupid we are! Go and find you, Ma'am Forestier, and ask her to lend you her jewels. She uttered a cry of joy. It's true, she said. I had not thought of that. The next day, she took herself to her friend's house and related her story of distress. Ma'am Forestier went to her closet, took out a large jewel case, brought it, opened it, and said, Choose, my dear. She saw at first some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels of admirable workmanship. She tried the jewels before the glass, hesitated, but could neither decide to take them nor leave them. Then she asked, Have you nothing more? Why, yes, look for yourself. I do not know what will please you. Suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Her hands trembled as she looked it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress and was ecstatic. Then she asked in a hesitating voice, full of anxiety, Could you lend me this, only this? Why, yes, certainly. Okay, now let's see the meaning of difficult words in this page. Now, pale means light in color or shade, containing little color or pigment. Okay, larks, Larks, a kind of bird. Anxious means feeling or showing worry, nervousness, okay, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. Then vexed, Vexed, annoyed, frustrated. Adorn means make more beautiful or attractive. Stricken means seriously affected by an undesirable condition or unpleasant feeling. Chic, Chic, elegantly and stylishly fashionable. Shabby means a dirty look in poor condition. Okay, through long use or lack of care. Understand? Modest means in between. Admirable means arousing or deserving respect and approval. Then satin means a smooth, glossy fabric, usually of silk, produced by a weave in which the threads of the wap are caught and looped by the weft only at certain intervals. Then ecstatic means feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. The next is okay, now see the meanings of this paragraph. So now what happened? Ma'am Loisel, okay, who? Ma'am Loisel was reluctant, means she was adamant, as he had saved only that much money to buy a gun for himself so that he could join the hunting parties. Actually, she demanded for 400 francs. Her husband had that much money, but he just saved that money to buy a gun for himself so that he could join the hunting parties next summer. along with his friends. He told his wife that he would give her the money and asked her to buy a good dress for her. The day was approaching and Matilda was still not fine. She was not satisfied with only dress. Okay, even though her dress was almost ready, it was so pretty. What happened? One day, her husband asked her again that why had she been acting strangely for the past few days. Matilda replied that although she had the dress, she did not have any kind of jewelry or anything else to make herself look even more beautiful or more attractive. She said that without any jewelry, she would look like a poor person, poverty stricken person in such a big party. She again said that she would rather prefer not going to the party. Okay, now what happened? Husband said that he replied that she could wear some natural flowers over the dress as they look really nice and attractive. She replied that she could not as it looked really cheap in a party of rich people, means wearing flower jewelry look very cheap in a party of rich people which she is going to attend. Okay, then her husband suggested that she could go to her friend Ma'am Forrester and ask her to lend some jewelry. Matilda became very happy, extremely happy, and she heard the idea. Okay, when she heard the idea suggested by husband, she became extremely happy. And at once, what happened? She went to her friend's home. Okay, then when she went to her, Madam Forrester went to her closet, means Almira, and brought out her jewel box. Madame Forrester asked Matilda to choose for herself whatever she wanted. Means she could choose any of the jewelry she liked. She first saw, means Matilda first saw some bracelets, then some pearl collars, and then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels. She was not able to decide what to take and what to leave. So she asked Ma'am Forrester if she has uh, anything else that she could wear. To this, Mrs. Forrester replied that she could herself take a look and choose something suitable. Whatever suits her, she can choose that. She then saw a superb diamond necklace kept in a black satin box. She took it out with her trembling hands and wore it. She was overjoyed with the necklace as it looked very pretty, very beautiful. She asked her friend, Mrs. Forrester, if she could lend her the diamond necklace. Okay, Mrs. Forrester consented to it. She was ready to give the necklace which she liked from the jewelry. Understand? Next paragraph. She fell upon the neck of her friend, embraced her with passion, then went away with her treasure. The day of the ball arrived. Ma'am Loisel was a great success. She was the prettiest of all, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. All the men noticed her, asked her name, and wanted to be presented. She danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure, thinking of nothing but all the admiration. This victory so complete and sweet to her heart. She went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband had been half asleep in one of the little saloon since midnight with three other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much. He threw around her shoulders the modest wraps they had carried, whose poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costume. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by the other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Loisel detained her. Wait, said he, I am going to call a cab. But she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. When they were in the street, they found no carriage, and they began to seek for one. Hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance, they walked along toward the river, hopeless and shivering. Finally, they found one of those old carriages that one sees in Paris after nightfall. It took them as far as their door, and they went wearily up to their apartment. It was all over for her, and on his part, he remembered that he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock. She removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass for a final view of herself in her glory. Suddenly, she uttered a cry. Her necklace was not around her neck. Loisel, already half undressed, asked, "What is the matter?" She turned towards him excitedly. I no longer have Ma'am Forrester's necklace." He arose in dismay. "What? How is that?" "It is not possible." And they looked in the folds of the dress, in the folds of the cloak, in the pockets, everywhere. They could not find it. He asked, "You are sure you still had it when we left the minister's house?" Now see the meaning of difficult word on the previous page. Embraced means hold someone closely in one's arms, especially as a sign of affection. Understand? Now, next is passion. Page number 42. Passion means excitement. Next is treasure. Treasure means costly item. Okay. Then next is elegant, means very beautiful. Gracious means full of grace. Enthusiasm means excitement. Intoxicated, mad, with, under the effect of. Next word is admiration, means praise. Saloons means shops. Understand? Then furs, the short, fine, soft hair of certain animals. Okay, which we wear during winters. Detain means keep from proceeding. Descended means move or fall downwards or come downwards. Okay. Hailing means uh, fall or be hurled forcefully. Here means hailing means calling. Okay. Coachman, a driver of horse drawn carriage, or we can say horse cart. Shivering means shaking slightly and uncontrollably as a result of being cold. Okay. Next, nightfall, the onset of night. Okay. What is the meaning of nightfall? The onset of night, or beginning of night. Understand? Dusk, or we can say the time after sunset. Wearily means with extreme tiredness, exhaustion, with extreme exhaustion or tiredness. Cloak means a sleeveless outdoor overgarment which we wear during winters, or we just wrap our body with it. Now, the meaning of this paragraph. Matilda hugged her friend with affection when she got the necklace and left for her house. Okay, she went to her house. Who went to her house? Matilda went to her house happily. The day of the party arrived, and Ma'am Loisel was appreciated as she was the prettiest, most elegant, and gracious of all the women present there. She was very happy and full of joy as all the men were noticing her. She was full of enthusiasm and pleasure as she was very happy with all the attention she got. The couple left the party at 4 o'clock in the morning, okay, 4 a.m. Then Mrs. Loisel had already slept at 12 o'clock in one of the halls with the three other. Okay, who slept? Mr. Loisel. Mr. Loisel, her husband. Whose husband? Matilda husband. Okay, already slept at 12 o'clock in one of the halls with three other men whose wives were enjoying the party. Then Mr. Loisel threw the wrap around his wife's shoulders, okay, as they were about to leave from the party. The elegance of the party dress was getting ruined by the wrap, as it was not that pretty. Means the wrap was not pretty. It was not so beautiful as the dress. So it was ruining the beauty of the garment or beauty of the attire which she wore. So that's why she wanted to leave the party quickly without being noticed by any other rich ladies. Understand? She did not want that rich lady notice her in that wrap, in that shawl. Okay, and because they had wrapped themselves in rich furs to see her in a cheap wrap. Okay, this was because she had portrayed herself. She just told or presented herself as a rich lady by wearing the new dress and the diamond necklace. And Mr. Loisel asked her to wait as he was calling a cab, but she was in hurry and quickly went down the stairs. She did not want to be noticed by anyone else as she wore that cheap shawl. Okay, as they got on the street, means both husband and wife came to the street, they were looking for a carriage which could take them home but could not find one. Then they saw a coachman at a distance and started calling him. The coachman did not stop. They kept walking together towards the river and finally found a carriage, the kind one finds in Paris at dusk time. Dusk time means evening time, okay, or the time after the sunset. The carriage took them to their home and they both went up. By then, they were extremely tired. The enthusiasm and fun for Mrs. Loisel, ma'am or Madam Loisel, had ended by then. Mr. Loisel also remembered that he had to reach his office by 10 a.m. As she stood in front of the mirror and removed the wrap to see herself once more, last time, in the beautiful dress and necklace, she cried aloud, okay, loudly. Because why she cried loudly? Because the necklace she was wearing was missed. It was not on her neck now. Mr. Loisel was already half undressed by then and was almost ready to go to sleep when he asked her the reason for shouting. She turned towards him and said that Mrs. or Madame Forestier's necklace was missing and that it might have fallen somewhere. They searched it in the folds of the dresses, the cloak, in the cloak. They found it in the cloak and in the pockets, but could not find it anywhere in any clothes folds. Okay. Mr. Loisel then asked,